Welcome to another review video in my channel, and as you can see I received this roller shade driver from Zigbee, and this is a Zigbee unit and it is designed to drive those kind of shades which has these, okay, well it doesn't have the code on it, that kind of like bead line. So it can grab onto it and then basically just move the shape up and down. And I mean, I think I have a couple of these shades in my home. I do have another one which I reviewed a couple of years ago, and I quite like this model by the looks of it because I mean, okay, it has a battery inside, so this is why it is, you know, quite big, but it tries to be fairly thin on the profile, so it was a little bit easier for me to mount it in the window, which is obviously recessed, so there wasn't an awful lot of space. And it works on Zigbee, so I should be able to easily integrate it into my Node-RED system. But today I'm just going to stick with the the standard Tuya application, because I'm going to be using this with the a Tuya compatible Zigbee hub, which is the Zigbee M6 that I received probably about six months ago. So this review video, I'm just going to show you how it works. And before I go into the details, just want to show you a couple of sample footage, how I installed it, and just a couple of words about the installation. Again, in this particular shade, the shade is mounted on the window itself, so it is set more in from the wall, and obviously this gets mounted on the wall next to it. And as you can see, there is a certain bit of an angle between the the motor and the actual shade, so this bead doesn't go perpendicular. And actually I was also interested to see if the unit can handle this much sort of like skewing in the lines, but as you can see, it works just fine. It's able to pull the shades up and down, and even by setting the tension to be not really tight, it runs just fine. I mean, there is a certain bit of sound, but that could be just because of the angle that I mounted. And also, probably it's not going to be visible on the video, but the motor is not directly behind the shade as well, so I have two different angles that this driver can manage without any issues. So before I go into the details, let me show you the what you get with this unit. So obviously there is this main drive unit. You can see some specs there. So it has a battery built in, which I think I'm going to mention the expected lifetime in the intro screen, but I don't have much experience with how long the battery lasts, so I rather not quote on that, just use the official figures. And it also comes with a mounting plate, so you can easily screw this mounting plate on the wall, and then you can just slide the unit in, and then it has some ratchets at the back, quite loud, and that's how you tension it. So you just have to roughly mount this plate, and then you can use this ratcheting mechanism in order to tension the bead line correctly. And controlling this unit is also very easy because it has this rotary knob, and obviously you start rotating it and then it starts going either up and down, and then you press it, you can stop it mid-turn, but obviously you set some limits. So if you just move it, well, it started rotating, and then it's going to stop at the predefined limit. But again, as I said, pressing it will stop it at any point. Besides the main unit, you also get a remote, and again, up and down buttons and a stop button in the middle. It runs on a coin cell, and it comes with this magnetic base, so you can again screw it on the wall. You can use double-sided tape, and then this one just clips onto it, and it runs on a CR2032, so it's nice and small and it's easy to use. You also get a big documentation, but before that I want to show the box that where all this comes in. So you see there is a lot of double-sided tape here, but then besides that I wanted to show these three different wheels. Oops. So I got these three different wheels, and you should be able to fit at least one of the wheels on your bead line. And I thought I'm just going to use the smallest one, so there is going to be one bead on each of this sprocket, but actually I ended up using the biggest one, where I think there is a sprocket for every third bead. But anyway, it seems to be working. It's able to grab on the line, and it can turn the roller up and down without any issues. So besides that, in the documentation, well, before we got to the documentation, just a bit more on the user interface. On the bottom, you have a rubber cover, and as you can see, there is a USB-C connection. So if you ever need to, well, definitely, if you once you need to charge it, you can use this USB-C. There is a button which is used for pairing, and there is a switch which, again, you would use if you want to get into the limit switch mode, which I'm going to talk about, just now when I look at the documentation. I suggest that you read the documentation because there is a lot of information there. There are several different ways how you can configure the device. Configuring the device means that you set the upper and the lower limits. And actually, I used the first method. So setting the limit switches. But before that, there is the documentation which says that you have to press the button quickly 3 times to get into pairing mode, and don't be discouraged if it doesn't work for the first time, because I had to try like 4 or 5 different times, because you really have to press it 3 times quickly, otherwise it doesn't go into pairing mode. So yeah, and it is a little bit difficult to get this button. I mean, once everything is mounted, this is very, so this button is very small. So you really need to feel where the button is, and obviously if it's mounted on the wall and then you can't really see it. So yeah, but again, you only have to do it once. But I mean, you can do the pairing when it is not installed yet, but also for the setting the limits, you also have to use this small switch, which again, it's really hard to get to. But again, you can just change it with your nails, just grab onto it. So it's not a big deal, but yeah, bit of an awkward position once it is mounted. But as I said, you only have to use it once. So the pairing method that I used is actually this very simple method. So as you can see, you slide that switch to the outer position, and then you start to spin the wheel, and then or the knob, and then the motor starts driving the chain into one of the direction, and when it reaches the position that you want, like the the lowermost position or the uppermost position, you press the button once, then it stops, and you press it again and it stores that position. And then you start rotating the knob the other way, and again, once that reaches the second limit, then you press the button, it stops, and then you press it again and it stores that position, and you can move this switch back to the middle position, and that's all there is to it to set the limits. And yeah, after that, you can just rotate the knob to either start moving, you press it to stop, and then you can use the remote as well. And there are other methods as well how you do it, how you do the pairing. Sorry, not the pairing, but the limit switching using the remotes, and also how you can do it from the app. But to be honest, I found the first method as the easiest method. There is a documentation on how to pair the remote, but to be honest, when I powered on the remote, I basically just put the battery in, then it was already paired, so I didn't have to do anything. So it was easy. And to be honest, that's all there is to it, to the actual unit and the installation. I mean, everything is straightforward. And as I said, the documentation is very good. It's, there is, I mean, it's only a leaflet, but it's only in English. So all this that you see here is, it's like a single language, as opposed to like a bigger leaflet, which has 5 or 6 languages, and each language has, just a small amount of information. But now let's look at how this all works in the Tuya application. And as you can see, I have the Tuya system already set up, but just to show you how it works. So you have to have a Zigbee hub. As I said, I have the ZemiSmart M6, and then you click on the sub devices, and then you add sub device, and now you have to press that button, this small button here, this one, 3 times and quickly. And then, you wait for a couple of seconds and the new device is going to be recognized. And this is how the new device looks like. So it has a very simple user interface. You have 3 buttons here and just before the graph, so you can use it same as the remote. So you can open, and it opens the blind. You can stop it at any point. You can see that the animation follows the actual state of the switch, and sometimes it resets. And you can also drag this open as well. And then you can do, and now it goes, you know, fully up. And also you can stop it at this point. Sorry, you can stop it from this screen at any point as well. You also have this option for this click control, which only going to advance the blind with a small amount. To be honest, I'm not really sure why you, I mean, the reason I'm always looking that way, because that's where the blind is. So I'm not really sure why you would use this, because, you know, once you set the limit, then, yeah, I mean, I think it's, unless you know, the sun is peaking below the blinds and you just want to nudge it down a little bit, then you would use this. But that's the main user interface. So it's very simple, but, you know, it does all the job and what's needed. And in the settings, you can change the direction of the motor. So if you want it to go the other way around, for example, if you feel it unnatural, the way you need to spin the dial, you know, you have to spin it. For me, I need to spin it clockwise for the blinds to go down and anti-clockwise to go up. If you want to do that, you can switch it here. And also you can start setting the limits from this application as well. But again, for me, I found that easier just to, you know, use that switch and the button, because then you don't have to use the phone as well. You just, you know, start moving the dial, it goes up, you press, and then it's done. And here you also have some options for the set schedules as well. So you can see that you can specify an hour and a minute and the day of the week, and then also you can say that the blinds should go up or should go down or close, to stop or continue. So you won't be able to do percentage control here from this specific schedule, but at least you can just you know, move the blinds up and down. So and you can create lots of these schedules. So a very simple user interface, but I think it has all the details. And that's pretty much all the settings as well, because this second setting screen just goes into the, you know, the general device settings, where you don't really find anything new here other than, I don't know, maybe you can turn on the offline notification if you need to. And that's it. So maybe the other thing I would do is I would go into the scenes and just quickly look at what we can do with this device. Oops, not this one. So go and create scene. And well, I mean, there is not an awful lot what you can do in the, I mean, let's say when the device status changes. Select a single device and blind motor. So yeah, you can, you know, you can trigger something if somebody is opening or closing or stopping the movement of the shade, or, you know, you can even have something set to a certain position. So maybe when you lower the shades, you can program the lights to come on, something like that. But I would probably do that on, you know, illumination rather than, you know, what position the blind's in. And you can also do total time, which I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Probably just you know, part of the device configuration that it offers this. So yeah, I don't think that there is going to be a lot of you know, automation based on that. But let's see what we can do if I set it to tap to run, so something else triggers this automation. And then we add a task and then a device and single device. So blind motor. So again, I can send it to a certain command. So open, stop, close, and continue. But I can also set it to a particular percentage. So if I want, you know, the blinds to open 25% or 50%, I can do it here. So again, I'm thinking about scenarios like you leave the home, you set the alarm. Let's say that these functions are available in the Tuya as well. Let's say the alarm is a Tuya based, or somehow it's integrated into Tuya. Then that event can trigger all the blinds to go down automatically. And then when you come home, you can do it with a smart lock as well. So, you know, when you lock the smart lock, then the blinds go down. And then when you open up the smart lock, because you come home, the blinds can come up as well. So yeah, that would be the I think the most useful way how you can use automation for this particular device. And I think that's pretty much concludes my review of this Zigbee Smart blind controller or blind motor. If you want to purchase this device, I'm going to have purchasing links in the video description. But I think that's all going to be for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.